Hi everyone, I'm Kaki Power. You may recognize me from the church. I'm one of the 3 lucky people who get to arrange flowers for the Sunday service. I usually do 2 times a month, something like that. And so it's my privilege today to come and talk to you. The thought being that this might be something that you would like to do during your confinement. And I say hoorah for that, and practice, 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 because this is a great time to do that. And I wanted to make the flowers accessible, so I purposely chose 2 different flower mixes from the grocery store. And so I chose this yesterday, a mixed bunch, it's called, and you see the different shades. It's got purples and pinks and orange. And you could obviously just take that home and plop it in and be done. But I think you'll enjoy what I'm going to do today, which is to sort of mix them up and separate them and come up with at least two arrangements. And for these 2 arrangements, I have 2 different sized containers. And in both instances, the flowers are going to be secured by marbles. So don't lose your marbles. Keep your marbles. Use them in these pots, and they will, you'll see, one is for a circular arrangement, and the other is for the arrangements that Kaki does at River Road, which is to have the flowers facing forward against a wall, something like that in your house, where you don't have to see the back of it, so you're only arranging one side. So this is something when you think about, you choose flowers that speak to you. I love these colors, and so I chose them, and I also knew that I could make 2 different arrangements with them, one in the round and one flat. So here we go, let's begin. I'm going to start with the round one first. This is called a ginger jar, and you secure your flowers with greenery. And so what I'm going to use is in the beginning is this cedar, and that comes from a shrub that we trimmed in our front yard the other day. And then I am going to start, also I'm going to put in a cuba. I know some of you have a cuba in your yard, and it grows like crazy, and I chose it also because it has the petals, it opens up, and it has the yellows in it, and the tones that my tulips have a bit of yellow in them. So my tulip tip to you is, when you get your tulips and bring them home, you take off all the leaves except this one leaf, so it isn't totally naked, but that helps you get rid of all the bulk of those leaves that bunch together and really don't do any good to anyone. So I'm using 3 here and 2 in the back, because we usually work in odd numbers turns out that's more harmonious to the eye, but we can go into that at a different time. All right, so here I have my base, and I am going now to put in a center one to give this some height. I want the arrangement to have some height to it. At least I like that. So there we have that. And next I'm going to go with these button chrysanthemums, I call them. And what I've done is that I have cleared off the leaves, and I've also cut some of these smaller ones and put them there. And that's a 3rd arrangement you can have for a side table, or and also if one of your flowers broke off while you're doing arranging, there you have a use for it. Okay, so I'm going to put these button mums in. I just have 2, unfortunately, so it nonetheless, and you see the flowers are getting anchored. That's good. I also have this spider mum, which I like, and you can open that up with your hands and see what fun that is. It's a point of interest. And now is the focal flower here, And focal flowers, I'll give you a hint, are usually roses. This is spray roses. I just have 2 of them, but they will go well in this, I believe. And you know, I apologize because you can't really get close-ups, but we are going to get a close-up of this in just after I finish the second one. So I think for the time being, I'm going to add maybe a little more of the cedar. And we are just about done with this one. So hooray, hooray. And I'm going to put it over here. Okay. And now I'm going to arrange the more horizontal one-sided, but we still want it to have depth. So I'm going to put in this Magnolia. And this is something that came from a tree in the yard, and I like magnolia leaves because they're just so glossy and pretty and have such a nice shape. So this one, anyway, here we go. So I'm also going to start putting in some greenery, and what I'm going to use here are peony leaves. And who would have thought that you would use the leaf of a peony instead of the flower? But I tell you, I think that they are beautiful for the greenery as well. So I'm going to put these around, and you see this is sort of beginning to take shape, and it is going to be ready to go. I've got my flowers now for this. This palette is going to be in purples and pinks. And so I had some purple things growing in my yard, which is another reason I chose this when I was looking at the grocery store. So here we go. Something I like. Again, I like a sort of center focus. It's not getting out right now. That's stock. But this is Alstroemeria. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Alstroemeria. You see it in the grocery store all the time in many different colors. And the nice thing about it is that it lasts. It'll last at least a week. And again, the variety of colors is wonderful. I happen to have 3 of these, so this will make it more balanced. Okay. And now my stock will cooperate and hop out. Yay! Okay, here we go. Here, this brings in a color from the same family. And here we now have these roses that, aren't they pretty? And if rose leaves have started to turn a little bit on the edge, you just pull them off. There we go. And you still have a beautiful rose. Okay, and here's the other one. Here we go. And one at the back. We may have a little touch of green. So here we are, but we're not done because a friend of mine knew that I was up to this today, and she brought over a gorgeous double tulip that she grew in her yard. And isn't that magnificent? Can you see? It looks like a peony, but it is a tulip. So putting that there, and then I'm adding in, sometimes you fill in with these more delicate flowers at the end, and this is catmint that you see. I'm going with the way that they're turning, the way Mother Nature did it, not trying to force them to do something else. So here is the purple, and since you don't have to see the back of this, I am just about done. Okay, everybody, there. Now I'm going to have my cameraman come up close with that so you can see, I hope, some of the detail. And then I'm going to show you one more thing that I promised Jessie. that I would show. So you see this beautiful detail. Now what I have are a tray of seedlings that I started. And this is something you can certainly do. You can see I used an egg carton. This is basil. These are zinnias and other zinnias, bachelor buttons, and hollyhocks. And these I'm going to give some to my grandchildren because I think it's important for all kids to see the process of flowers growing. And my last over here is my little joke, is my tomato plant, but we all know that tomatoes won't look like that until July or August, but I just couldn't resist. So that tells you to turn up. There we go. There I am to say goodbye, everyone. And I've enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten something out of it. And I hope I can do this again another time, and maybe we can focus on something fun like making vinegar with herbs, flavored with herbs, and you could have that for your summer salads, or lots of other tricks with herbs. So thank you very much, and have fun with flowers. Bye-bye.